Have you ever stopped and wondered, why do some people, despite having nothing, manage to build extraordinary lives, while others, born with every advantage, achieve very little? Why is it that a small shift in thinking can completely alter the course of a person's destiny? If Primera told you, just change the way you see yourself and your life will follow, would you believe it? Let me share a seemingly simple story about a beggar, and through it, uncover a profound secret to success that many overlook: the power of an exchange mindset, the principle of giving before you receive. And, if you are patient until the end of this video, you will receive not only powerful lessons, but a clear understanding of how to apply them immediately in your own life. On a dusty morning at the old city railway station, a man sat cross-legged near platform 3. His clothes were torn, and his hands were rough from the grime of the streets. For years, his life had followed the same rhythm. Wake before dawn, take his spot by the station gate, and stretch out a trembling hand to strangers. He was invisible to most, just another shadow in the bustling city. Yet, somewhere deep inside, a faint memory of having dreams still flickered, buried beneath the weight of hunger and shame. That morning, he noticed a tall man in a neatly pressed suit, walking with the kind of confidence that people who own their time possess. He must be rich, the beggar thought. Maybe he'll give me something good today. He limped toward the man and stretched out his hand. "Sir, please, a coin or two," he pleaded. The businessman stopped, but instead of reaching for his pocket, he looked at the beggar with a sharp, questioning gaze. "Have you ever tried giving something to someone?" he asked, his voice calm yet firm. The beggar frowned, confused. "Giving? Sir, I have nothing to give. I'm just a poor man." The businessman offered a faint smile. "That's exactly why you remain poor," he said quietly. "You believe you have nothing to give. I'm a businessman. I believe in exchange, not charity. If you can offer me something, I'll gladly give you something in return. But if you have nothing to give, I can't help you." Before the beggar could reply, the man boarded his train and vanished into the crowd, leaving his words echoing in the beggar's mind. If you believe you have nothing to give, that's why you have nothing. That night, the businessman's words haunted him. "What can I possibly give?" he whispered to the stars. The next day, he returned to the station, but didn't beg. Instead, he observed. 2 days later, he noticed a small cluster of wildflowers growing by the tracks, bright against the dull gray concrete. An idea sparked. He picked a few flowers and placed them beside his tin bowl. When a woman dropped in a few coins, he smiled genuinely and held out a flower. "For you, madame," he said. Surprised, she took it and smiled back. For the first time in years, the beggar felt a warmth that didn't come from coins, but from the look on her face. He continued giving flowers to everyone who gave him money. Soon, he wasn't just taking. He was part of an exchange. He noticed he was earning more than ever. Days turned into weeks, and he became known as the man who gives flowers. People began stopping just to buy flowers from him. He was no longer a beggar. He was a small-time businessman. One afternoon, he saw the same businessman from before. He ran up, holding a small bunch of flowers. "Sir, you told me you couldn't give me anything unless I had something to offer. Today, I have something. If you give me money, I'll give you these flowers in return." The businessman stared, then broke into a wide smile. He handed the man some cash, and the man handed him the flowers. "You've learned the greatest rule of success," the businessman said, nodding. "You've stopped begging and started trading. Today, you are not a beggar, you're a businessman." From that day on, everything changed. The man who once called himself a beggar started his own flower business. First with a cart he painted himself, and eventually with a small stall right where he used to beg. He rented a small room, bought clean clothes, and found a purpose. Months later, the businessman returned and saw a well-dressed man arranging flowers at a neat stall. He walked closer. "You look familiar," he said. The man smiled. "Yes, sir. Once when you refused to give me money, and once when you bought flowers from me." The businessman's eyes widened in disbelief. "I was a beggar," the man explained. "But I'm not anymore. I just changed my mind first, and the rest followed." He handed the businessman a bouquet. This one is free, for the lesson you gave me." The businessman accepted it, humbled. "I learned," the former beggar said, "that poverty isn't just the absence of money. It's the absence of purpose. When I stopped seeing myself as someone who needed help and started seeing myself as someone who could help others, everything changed." That is how a beggar became a businessman. Not because someone gave him money, but because someone gave him an idea that his value began within himself. Once he believed that, he was never truly poor again. His life didn't change when his situation improved. His situation improved when his mindset changed. When you give first, you stop waiting for luck. You become the creator of your own fortune. Years later, he would tell young people who came for advice, "Whatever little thing you have, give it and you'll see how the world gives back." Everything began with a single thought that he had something to give.